like to call this meeting to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wolf.
Here.
Councilmember Capes.
Here.
Councilmember Strawn.
Here.
Councilmember Rayburn.
Here.
Mayor Montgomery.
Here.
There is a quorum present.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Capes, would you lead us?
Yes, ma'am. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. Council, before we approve the agenda, I have two changes. I'd like to remove item 5E and add under the consent agenda item 2F, and that is a budget amendment. Any other additions or deletions?
I don't have any.
No, ma'am.
I would make a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And have you had a chance to review the consent agenda, and do I have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Nancy, do we have anyone signed up for the public comment period?
Yes. Mr. Byrd?
Please come to the podium and state your name, address, and you're limited to 3 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Phil Byrd. I reside at 5910 Bartlett Drive, Greensboro, North Carolina. I am here tonight to let the council, first of all, I'm glad you allowed me to speak tonight, Mayor and council persons. I'm running for Guilford County Sheriff. I just want to make sure that signs will be starting to come out. I want to make sure that you can put a face with a sign. I worked in Jamestown a long time. I retired with 30 years at Guilford County Sheriff's Office. I retired as a captain back in 2014. I spent 9 years as a detective sergeant and 3 years as operational lieutenant and 10 years on the command staff. I think it's very important for us to have a proactive law enforcement. I've got experience of working with most all the towns that have been developed here in Guilford County. I remember when there were no city councils except for Jamestown and Gibsonville, and along the years, we've had a lot developed in the county. I had a lot of experience with Jamestown. I worked with Jamestown a lot when I was a operational lieutenant in this district, and I really enjoyed it right much. And so I'm really just here tonight to let you know who I am. And I was born and raised here in Guilford County. I graduated from John Wesley College, and so my whole life has been spent really with the sheriff's office and in Guilford County. So that's really just want to introduce myself. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you
Thank you,
coming.
sir. Good luck.
Okay. Anna, you're up first.
Good evening. This agenda item is the public hearing for annexation of D.R. Horton property. The public hearing was opened at the November 16th, 2021 regular meeting. As discussed at that meeting and the following meetings, the matter is not yet ready for discussion. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that the Town Council continue this public hearing without further advertisement until the April 19th, 2022 regular meeting.
Before we have discussion, I'd like to read a message from the council, and this is in reference to the next 3 public hearing requests that we will be extending. Our council noted from the beginning of this process that the development of these tracts will impact the character and function of our historic town forever. We decided that development would proceed in 2 ways. First, with meaningful input from our town citizens under the guidance of one of the country's leading urban planners. This was accomplished last fall. Second, we decided that this project would be guided by a tightly written, highly specific, and well-prepared development agreement that went far beyond the details and regulations in our zoning ordinance. Our town staff and legal counsel prepared an extensive document that touches on everything from street standards, sidewalk design, signage, architectural specifications, utility requirements, and fire and public protection, to name a few. These documents are not drafted overnight, but through discussion and negotiation. Our staff and legal counsel have done their part and met the agreed-upon schedule. We continue to wait for timely responses from the developer. When we do, we will have a document for you to review. Our attorneys advise that we are still not obligated to accept the agreement or any part of its terms. Once we have a meaningful response from the developer, we will move to the next stage. At this time, we appreciate your patience with this process. And that is what the council would like to put on record.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
And at this time, we'll open the public hearing if anyone is in the audience who would like to speak. Seeing none, council, do I have a motion to continue?
Motion, go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah, I make a motion to continue this public hearing to the April 19th meeting here in the Civic Center at 6 o'clock
Second.
with no further advertisement.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
The next public hearing item is the rezoning request for the same property. Petition for the rezoning has been received and reviewed by the planning board. The public hearing was opened on January 25th, 2022, regular meeting for consideration of the rezoning of the parcels located at 2221 Guilford College Road, 5300 Mackey Road, 2207 Guilford College Road, and 5303 Mackey Road from agricultural to planned urban unit development with a development agreement. As staff has discussed, this framework and content of the agreement are ongoing with legal counsel. Therefore, staff respectfully requests that this item be continued until the April 19th regular scheduled meeting without further advertisement.
Thank you.
Motion to continue the public hearing on rezoning request from D.R. Horton to the April 19th, 2022 meeting without further advertisement.
Okay, I'm going to hold you right there for a second and see if there was anyone that wished to speak.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Seeing none, I'll accept your motion.
What I said. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Got ahead of myself
Calm
there.
down this
I know, I had coffee earlier.
We're shooting for that 6:31.
Telling you.
The final public hearing on tonight's agenda is for the development agreement for the same properties at 2221 Guilford College Road, 5300 Mackey Road, 2207 Guilford College Road, and 5303 Mackey Road. This development agreement goes alongside the rezoning process. Staff respectfully requests that this item be continued until the April 19th, 2022 regular meeting without further advertisement.
At this time, if anyone in the audience would like to speak, we welcome you to the podium. Please state your name, address, and limit it to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gwendolyn Flood. I live 5600 Wellesley Drive West, Greensboro, North Carolina. I was wondering why there isn't going to be any more public advertising about this.
Why there's no advertisement?
You said there's be no more public advertising. I want to know why the public they don't need to know.
It has been advertised. We're continuing it without further advertisement.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have no new business, and so sorry. Council,
I didn't
do I
want
have
to
a
get
motion?
Motion to continue the public hearing on the development agreement to April the 19th, 2022,
Second.
without further advertising.
Still second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
It's been quite a day.
It's been a long day. We have no new business, so Anna, would you address the council concerning the bicycle pedestrian committee appointment?
Absolutely. At your places, you'll find all the applications and an up-to-date list of applicants for the Bicycle Pedestrian Committee. This committee is a requirement for the Bicycle Pedestrian Grant awarded earlier this year. This group is required to include relevant local staff, regional planning staff, advocates, and representative of stakeholder groups, as well as an NCDOT IMD staff member. Before you is that list, and we request to appoint the committee with those members as presented.
Well, I don't know what the requirements are for this committee. All of these are Jamestown residents, but I know Wes Cashwell, who I think will be an excellent committee member, does live in High Point, and I didn't know if there was any stipulations there, I just want to be sure about
Yeah,
it.
there's no stipulation for this
Okay.
committee that they need to be a resident. They encourage people that also work in the community.
Great, well, which of course he does, and he uses the
He owns-
sidewalks, we see him walking and
And
running.
he owns property.
Business property, so I just want to make sure of that.
Ultimately, this connects with High Point in the future anyway, doesn't it?
Ideally, yeah, I mean, you can walk the sidewalks and ride your bike from High Point to Greensboro through Jamestown, so.
Do I have a motion to appoint this committee, or is there any further discussion?
No further discussion. Motion to appoint all the listed personnel to the committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Ross, here's, would you review the approval of rate change for us?
I'm sorry?
Would you explain the approval of the rate changes at the golf course for us?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
And good evening, again.
Again.
So yes, as we do every year, we look at, rates compared to, where we are, where other golf courses are. We want to be very competitive, obviously, in the golf industry and with our rates. And, we contact other courses to find out what they're charging. That's one of the processes. When we met a few weeks back, I handed out a quick, brief snapshot of kind of where some of the golf courses are that are going up from their rates from when we met last. And this is typically the time of year when we want to do it, as the season starts to get kicked off. And I think that just not only locally, we're seeing it nationally. Rates are going up. So, looking at this, we feel it's a fair, very fair rate for the value that they're getting out at Jamestown. So I'd be glad to answer any questions or.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
No, ladies first.
The weekday 18-hole senior resident walk and the weekday 9-hole, these are new fees?
Correct.
You have not been charging?
Correct. So we did not have those rates in place. So we're really kind of in a gray area as to what to charge there. So we just take obviously Jamestown residents do get a discount. Kind of in that 20-25% discount. So we felt like we needed to add those so there's no confusion on what to charge folks. So it's just a standard walking rate with a Jamestown resident discount.
And it looks like most of them, you're going up $2, but there's like 3 of them, you're going up $3. Is there any reason why you don't have across-the-board type?
Let's look at that.
I think she's referring to the twilight rate. And
You've got a weekend 18-hole junior golf fee after 2, and your weekend 9-hole golf fee after 2, and the twilight that you had mentioned.
Yeah, and again, it's kind of what our competitors are doing as well, and a walking rate. I don't want to say we want to make it roughly $1 per hole, but with 18 holes, but that seems to be the fair price that we've come up with for those walking rates. We do not do a senior rate on the weekends, but we do offer the junior discount on weekends. So the senior rates are only during the week, Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, even since we talked a few weeks ago, just things have changed, so the price of gas and food, groceries is affecting everyone, and that's the thing that I'm hesitant about. Like I said, $1 means a whole lot more to folks, so, but I understand now is the time that you normally would do it. The other thing I wonder if you would maybe just explain about is this school golf per season fee.
Yeah, and that's something that we've have not, something we've looked into, and we really looked into it a couple of years ago before COVID. And in contacting all the other golf courses in the area that have high schools and middle schools that practice, they're charging some form of a fee for them to use the practice facilities, the golf course. And we feel like with, you know, the cost of labor and the cost of, you know, to have those kids come out and utilize the golf course, there is a minor cost there. So we've looked at, you know, the other golf courses and what the other schools pay, and the fees that we're that we're looking at charging are considerably at or less than what other schools are being charged at other courses. So,
I guess that was part I wondered about with this being a new charge. It seems like that was mighty high for your first time
That was
charging
where my question was
schools,
going to
yeah.
roll around. You and I talked about it being closer to actual cost, maybe a little bit more than actual cost. If I remember, actual cost was right around $34, $40 cost
per day,
per day, right?
right. And
So-
so that math comes out to be well beyond this proposed amount. And Jamestown Middle School, for instance, they paid this proposed amount to a golf course in High Point last year. And they contacted me, and we worked it out where they could use Jamestown. There's no need for them to go to,
Oh, yeah, I'd rather have Jamestown schools
High
using
Point.
Jamestown course, for
right.
sure.
And we have Ragsdale High School, and so, and that was the proposed fee here is what they paid a golf course in High Point.
Having said that, since we're giving residents a discount, why can't we do the in-town schools the same way?
Well, I mean, this is money from the county that goes to the schools, correct? So, I mean, this is just, it's not, my understanding would be it's not like the kids are paying out of pocket for this. And so it's, you know, do we want money from Guilford County schools?
Or do we want to?
Or do we
Well,
want
yeah, but
to
the schools are going
leave
to
it on the
collect it from the
table?
parents for them to be on the teams. So ultimately, it's coming out of the parents' pockets.
That's the way I thought it was. I figured it would be passed as a fee that you would
They
have to
don't
pay
pay
to be
for
on the golf team.
athletic-
They already paid. Am I wrong?
Excuse me?
I didn't hear
I
you.
thought they already paid, meaning at the school level, the parents are still paying for the kids to play based on what's going on within the school itself, so.
Yeah, and they are. My point being, though, that if we increase, now the kids are going to be paying more, the parents are going to be paying more for them to play.
If only Marlene could tell us.
She's in a lacrosse game.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, no, I know.
Good reason.
But they were already paying another golf course.
Well, the
Well, we
one
don't know
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one school.
We don't know what the amounts are and how it's coming out or any of those particular things for facts.
We could
Other
look
than the
into
one
that.
that called and talked.
My two children that have since graduated from Guilford County Schools, they both played sports, so it was my understanding then, recently as last year, the kids pay a one-time fee of $50 if they play one sport or four sports. So that's the new way that Guilford County's doing it, I believe.
Okay.
So,
Well, I feel like you are the expert. We're lucky enough to have someone who knows golf that we employ. And, you know, I'm always a proponent of the amount of money that we put into the golf course is substantial. And so if people are paying more to play at other courses and we can even things up and still be a good deal, but, you know, be losing less every month, then I'm all for it. And I trust that you know best about that. And as far as the school goes, you know, you can look into it, and if it seems like it's going to be a burden on kids, I'm sure that there would be somebody willing to step up and pay that fee. But I think we should go ahead with that.
And you had said you had sort of given a heads up and took the temperature out there of people that play.
taking a lot of temperatures out there,
And they were,
and they're certainly
it's
fine.
like this is going to be a burden or a hardship or
Sure,
keep them from
sure.
playing.
Wait till they get their tax bill in the middle of the year. See if it's the same then.
Okay.
Well, it's not like we're raising it to to be on par with the most expensive course here, so keeps us competitive.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that would be my main concern, would be that, but other than that, I agree with what Rebecca was saying a moment ago about, trying to lose less money effectively.
Any further discussion? Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the changes in the golf fees.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ross.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, Ross.
If you find out something about that school, the way that's paid, if you maybe let us know.
I'll make sure it's just, yeah,
Okay,
because I do remember it was a flat fee.
Okay, that'd
So
be good.
I'll check into that.
thank you.
Anna, we have another public hearing to schedule.
The staff respectfully requests that the council set a public hearing date for the consideration of an LDO amendment to Article 3 definitions for the April 19th, 2022 regularly scheduled council meeting.
Do I have a motion, council?
Motion to schedule the public hearing at the April 19th, schedule a public hearing April 19th meeting, 6 PM, to consider amendments to Article 2, or Article 3 definitions of land development ordinance.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Matthew, you have a request for change?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We would respectfully request to reschedule the June 21st meeting, which is a Tuesday, to Thursday, June 23rd. We have a couple of scheduling conflicts. Talking to Judy and Faith, that's generally the meeting where we adopt our budget. And they didn't feel comfortable doing it a lot earlier just because the county budget will be adopted probably on the 16th. So we're asking for the 23rd, if that's acceptable to council.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Is there
opposed?
any special advertisement we have to do because of that?
We will amend, we need to actually amend our regular schedule as well, but we will do that, and we will
Okay, that's
make sure that we put that out. Thank you.
That's our next motion, to amend,
That's correct.
Do I have a motion to amend
Motion to amend.
the
Second?
schedule? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. And we have removed the one item, so Matthew, do you have a manager's report for us, please?
I do. Thank you very much. I'll get my stuff in order here. After some careful consideration, the town of Jamestown is pleased to announce the appointment of Katie Weiner as the town's assistant town manager, effective immediately. As the assistant manager, Katie will assist in overseeing the day-to-day operations of the town and will assist in directing the town staff in the implementation of the town council's strategic plan, which was recently adopted and will be updated on a biannual basis. Additionally, she will be working directly with the town council and the town manager to help develop and implement strategies which will help propel Jamestown into the future. She was hired by the town in 2017. She has a bachelor's degree in political science and a master's degree in public administration from Appalachian State University. And she's been serving as the town clerk and will continue to serve in that capacity as well. Over the last 5 years, Katie's received her certified municipal clerk designation, and she's also completed the UNC School of Government Municipal and County Administration program. The MCA program is a comprehensive course that's designed for officials whose responsibilities require understanding of local government functions beyond their individual areas of specialization, and thus prepares them for a larger role within the organization. She's been serving as an integral part of our town leadership team, and she brings a very fresh perspective to public service. She's very approachable. She has a approachable personality, and her practicality, coupled with her extensive work as a leader in our organization, make her the perfect candidate to assist in charting the course for what Jamestown has to offer its citizens and those who are moving to our community now and for years to come. She's not able to be with us this evening, but we will see her going forward.
Wonderful. Congratulations to her. Yes.
Thank you. We're going to be celebrating Arbor Day this
Matt,
year.
if I
Yes.
could just ask one thing. The concerns that I had that you and I spoke about, you've
Yes.
discussed them with Beth?
I did discuss them with Beth, and we did not see any reason. I did discuss them with the UNC School of Government, and they have no problem with the clerk serving in a dual role in that capacity. Thank you. We will be celebrating Arbor Day this year with the assistance of the Publix Grocery Store Associates, who are going to be volunteering their time. We do appreciate that. We'll be celebrating this Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. We're going to be planting several trees and shrubs along the new walkway along East Main Street. We're going to be just on the Yorkley side, the substation side of the train tunnel. This area is home to Lydia, our resident ghost. So we also appreciate Publix for their support in this endeavor. The town is currently working with Piedmont Triad Regional Council to complete our operations continuity plan, which is going to be assisting us in identifying areas where additional staffing could be needed to ensure the continued provision of high levels of service to our citizens. We are nearing the completion of that, and we should have more information for the council as we prepare for our upcoming budget process. This is one of the goals that was identified in the council strategic plan, goal number 1.3. And our staff have taken a great deal of pride in service of the community and to our citizens. And I know that council is also wisely planning for the future, as that was one of the highest rated goals in our discussion. We will be hopeful to present some of that information at our March the 25th meeting, which will be at the golf course. It's our budget meeting. And it begins at 9 a.m. at the golf course, and it will go until we're completed. Town staff and council are working on the budget, as I said, so stay tuned for that. We'll have some more information at the 25th. One of the goals that's listed in our strategic plan is goal number 5.5, complete and adopt the Parks and Recreation Master Plan in order to seek grant funding opportunities. And as we talked about last time, that plan was adopted in April, and Scott and Coakley, our recreation superintendent, and Anna have been diligently working to prepare the town to apply for a PARTIF grant, Parks and Recreation Trust Fund. The Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee met, and I'm sure that John will talk about that, but we're going to be bringing council some information on that at the April 19th meeting as we prepare to submit an application for a grant. I do want to take a minute to recognize Justin King. He's a member of our golf course maintenance team. He's our golf course mechanic. He completed the Equipment Management Certificate Program, Level 1, which was presented by the Golf Superintendents Association of America. He passed 8 exams demonstrating proficiency in cutting units, drivetrain systems, electrical systems, engine technology, fundamentals of turfgrass operations, hydraulic systems, metalworking fabrication, and spray systems. Of particular note here is that Justin decided to do this on his own. He did not tell us that he was doing that. He went out and registered for the program, paid for it himself, and took it without any incentive from the town. And we have rewarded him for doing that, and we have actually offered to reimburse him for his expenses. But I just want to say that's a demonstration of his dedication to the town, and we do appreciate his work.
Awesome, yeah. Congratulations.
So if you do see him, tell him thank you for taking the initiative to do that.
Is that going in his file?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
And he does receive a certificate for that, so all of that information does go into his record. Litter sweep will be held on April the 9th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And if you're interested, or if anybody who's watching is interested in participating, please contact Elizabeth Greason at Town Hall. That's 454-1138. And she can tell you how you can participate in that. We always have a good turnout for that, so we appreciate that. And finally, I know this was of particular interest to the council. The town received our draft of the ADA transition plan today. The transition plan's purpose is to determine what facilities that are under the town's ownership need intervention to become compliant with ADA standards. It recommends remediation actions to make non-compliant facilities compliant and helps develop a schedule for remediation action. We anticipate that we'll be bringing that to you for adoption, most likely at the April 19th meeting. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions from you?
I have one. It might be more of a Paul question, but I don't.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. Usually you're over there. A couple weeks back, I went by Lydia late at night, or by the train tracks late at night. I noticed on the far side, the GTCC side, plenty of lights, light poles, blah, 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 well lit. On our side of the tracks, nothing. Anything that the state's going to do, or
we have Duke Energy on board to put lighting through there. Due to the permitting we had with the railroad, we wanted to get done with NCDOT. There are 3 lights to go on the along the edge of the road, right to the edge of the railroad corridor. And obviously, you saw we have the redundant lighting on the Yorkley side. We're going to mirror that, but we wanted to get out from this DOT contract just for
I figured so. I just wanted to make sure.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
we need the lighting in there.
Felt like-
Any other questions? No, thank you.
Thanks.
Council, do you have any committee reports?
Well, no, our TAC meeting is next Tuesday, and then Paul and our meeting with Wright Archer, the DOT engineer, is next Thursday, the 24th, so we can report after that.
The one that you had me sit in on was nothing significant.
Okay, PRC.
Will they discuss the guardrail further?
Oh, yeah,
Good.
and you heard the latest.
I know,
So,
I know.
we can certainly let them know that it's
Can't, well, I
more
mean,
dangerous.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
So Parks and Rec did meet, and we approved the minutes from the January 7th, 2019 meeting. Because of COVID, we have not actually been in the same space together for some time. There was a lot of discussion around the Parks and Rec, the PARTIF that we're looking at, and the support for the grant project. Scott Coakley did a good overview of it, went through the discussed grant opportunities, and answered a few questions from the Parks and Rec Board, and it was voted and approved. So that's
Thank
it.
Rebecca?
Sure. On March 3rd, we had a Livable Communities meeting right here at the Civic Center. It was lovely. And primarily talked about the upcoming programming that we have coming up. So March 31st from 10:30 till noon, there will be a Fraud Watch Network event on protecting yourself from scammers. And that's going to be via Zoom, but also if folks want to, either because they're not comfortable with Zoom or maybe they would just want to watch it with neighbors and that type of thing, they can come here to the Civic Center. Again, that's March 31st from 10:30 to noon, and they can register online from the Jamestown website. And then the rest of the meeting, we also talked about just exploring opportunities for bringing more programming to town. You know, we talked about resources in the county, in the larger area, but really, or trying to think about ways that we could maybe capitalize on that, bring speakers or, you know, have a resource fair, some sort of event that we could do, you know, right here in town so folks don't have to travel. And then last night, there was a planning board meeting, a very quick planning board meeting, and we'll hear more about that in April. But again, it was kind of what we went over with Anna about making the LDO amendment change to just the definitions portion, so.
And Lawrence, you said the PTRC meeting you attended for me did not have a report.
No. I did take some screenshots though for you if you want.
Okay, thank you. Marlene is playing lacrosse, so she's not with us this evening for a council or a high school report. And Nancy, do we have anyone signed up for the last public comment period? Okay. Any other business, council?
Well, I was going to ask Matt, just one question. We talked about, well, it's been several months ago now, but about possibly getting a quarterly report from animal control on the calls that they take for Jamestown.
I will
And
ask
we
about
talked about them coming and giving a presentation. I don't think they need to do that, but if we could just get a quarterly report so we can see what calls.
I will inquire.
Is that, you said animal control?
Uh-huh.
Gotcha, because all stray dogs and cats come to Jamestown.
We do rehome a lot of lost
Seems to be the way.
pets
Seems to be the way.
through social media.
Sure.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Well, I have some other business. Nancy, would you meet me at the podium, please?
You've been put on the spot, that's right.
Whereas the town of Jamestown was exceedingly lucky to have been able to work with Nancy Avery for an interim period. And whereas Avery was not only able to fulfill all clerk duties, but quickly became a valued member of our team. And whereas the rate at which she was able to understand the various issues facing the town and all of our ongoing projects was extremely impressive. And whereas she brought years of experience to her interim position, provided a new perspective, and always voiced her opinion in a professional manner. And whereas it was obvious to everyone that she truly enjoyed her work and takes pride in serving the public. And whereas Nancy always came to work prepared with the largest coffee she could find. And whereas Nancy has been a pleasure to work with and will be greatly missed by our town staff. Now therefore, I, Lynn Montgomery, on behalf of the council and our citizens, do hereby recognize and express our deep appreciation to Nancy Avery for the dedication of her time and talents to us. Thank you so much.
While they're going back to their seats, I will just update folks who weren't able to be there, but we did have a really nice luncheon for Nancy and for our former fill-in town manager, Dave Treen, today at the golf course. And really, both of them in their own ways stepped in at just the right time and, in a lot of ways saved us. So we're super thankful for everybody, and Nancy especially. Dave would joke as the time got closer and closer when Katie's due date came, that, we need to find somebody, and that's such a specialized skill set. You don't just find a town manager. And we were coming up with all kinds of bizarre plans for how we could find one, and then all of a sudden, we find out, oh, well, wait, there's someone with years of experience in this, and she just likes to travel around and be town manager different places. and be town clerk different places. And so, we really lucked into Nancy, so thank you very much.
Yes, thank you
Very much.
Thank you.
Second
Thanks,
that.
Nancy. I'll second. You took my line. I'll second.
Any other business? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.